Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Gaynor, and I'm the community coordinator for socialbizug.org. And I am honored to have with me today Paul Della-Nebbia. And yes, you did see me look at my cheat sheet to try and pronounce that correctly. Paul, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks for talking to me this morning.
It's an honor to have you. And before I get into the actual questions, can I just ask, where are you physically located?
Hamilton, Ontario. We're about halfway between Toronto and Buffalo, New York.
Gotcha. Okay.
Close to Niagara Falls.
Ooh, I've been to Niagara Falls when I was a little tiny kid, but I haven't been back. I'm assuming you've been there?
Oh, countless times.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. All right, let's get the show on the road. So, Paul, if we may, let me start with your elevator resume. Who do you work for, if you can say? What do you do? What's your job title? Just a basic rundown of who you are and what you do.
Well, I assume you want the resume from kind of a background point of view. So I did start working with IBM Canada in 1984, worked with them for 8 years, and then I started my own one-man consulting company in 1992. Did that for about 5 years, and did a lot of training at the time. Became a certified Lotus instructor,
Oh,
and met a lot of other great certified Lotus instructors. And in 1997, I kind of saw that market saturating, so I approached some of the other instructors and said, we should take this Lotus Notes training and provide a different format, a self-paced format or a distributed format. And one person put up their hand and said, that was a pretty good idea, Howard Greenberg, and he's still
oh,
my
I know
partner
Howard.
today. Yeah, we started TLCC together in 1997. And we've been at it ever since, and we're in our 18th year now. A couple of other, I guess, highlights of my career is in 2014 I was recognized and honored to become an IBM champion, and again for this year in 2015.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
that's a little bit about me.
That's very cool. And I did not realize that you were one of the founders of TLCC. I think TLCC is a pretty awesome company.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, so my next question is actually kind of a two-parter. And please take all the time you need on either part. So I noticed in your profile that you have tags. One thing in particular is for XPages. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on XPages, both the good and the bad. Let's be balanced in our reporting here. And then also, as you just mentioned, you doing your training. Can you tell me what kind of training you do? How do you do it? What's your approach? Just give me a general rundown, if you would.
Well, in terms of XPages, I've got a lot of good things to say. Really, the interface is awesome, and I love what the folks at the XPages Development Lab, the IBM XPages Development Lab, what they've done in terms of bringing along the technology. First of all, they've brought it into a very familiar environment for me. It's brought right into Domino Designer and Eclipse, so I'm still working in that familiar environment. And I'm still working with some familiar design objects like forms and views, which provide the schema or the data schema for my XPage applications. I also like the way they've brought along some of the skills that I've developed in Notes and Domino development. So when I'm coding in server-side JavaScript, I can take advantage of functions that have been ported into a library that's available to me, and all of the Domino object classes, which are also ported into libraries that are available to me. So that's really great. And what's also very good about XPages is all of the tools that they provide me, the slick interface controls, like the data view control and the data grid control and the various dialog controls. So they've given me this great tool set of user interface controls to really develop some great looking modern web applications that I can deliver to the Notes client, that I can deliver to desktop browsers and mobile devices as well. So that's the good about XPages. The bad about XPages is, every once in a while, as you're developing an XPage application, you do hit that snag of, well, what's working under the covers? And you may need to do a little bit more research in terms of, what's happening when and the various cycles within the XPages life cycle and what's occurring when. So that can be challenging at times. And the other thing that is challenging is that there is just so much. There is quite a lot to learn. So when you go it alone and you're just working with various components and different resources on the web, it can be frustrating. And that's a big part of what we do at TLCC is to provide a beginner to advanced curriculum for XPages development.
Paul, I see that you've put up a very colorful, and a very nice slide. Can you dive into this and tell me what this is about?
Well, this is a representation of the skills paths and the courses that TLCC offers to get your skills up in XPages development. So beginning around the middle of this chart are the XPages courses along with our free introduction to XPages development. So you can download that right from our website and go through that. And I also have a blog series that's based on that course as well. So you can go through that with the video blog series. And then we have JavaScript for XPages development, and then we have our XPages development 1 and 2 courses. And also we have a mobile XPages development course, which focuses on the mobile controls that are available to you. A rapid XPages development course, which is all about user interface. So things like using the application layout control to lay out your application, or using the data view control to represent your Domino view data, or the form table control, dialog control. So really all about the user interface controls. A complete module on the Dojo UI controls as well within that course. On the right-hand side, we have a Java 1 and 2 course. In the Java 1 course, we teach you about the Java language, the basics of the language within an XPages context. And also in our Java 2 course, we get into topics like the expression language and creating Java beans and managed beans and incorporating those into your application. So you see at the top of that chart, there are what we call our prerequisite skills. So we assume that you already have a good understanding of Notes application development, and you know the Domino security model, and you know the document architecture model, and document security, and you know how to apply all of that. You know how to create an application using forms and views, and they are a basis of your application development within XPages. So all of those things are used within your XPages development. So your Domino security applies. We often get that question, does document security apply when I'm displaying a document on an XPage? Yes, it does. So, whatever security is enforced through the access control list and the document right down to the field level also applies when that particular document is presented within an XPage as well. Also, you can see that we've got some Lotus script and Java prereqs. That's kind of an either-or path. Really what's important there is you're bringing in the skill of you understand the Domino object classes, the Notes session class, the Notes database class, the Notes document class, the Notes view class, and all the various classes. There are dozens and dozens of Notes object classes that are available to you. And you want that skill because those classes have been ported to libraries that are available in your server-side JavaScript. So if you have developed using Lotus script and you've developed Lotus script agents or even action buttons that use Lotus script on action button in a form or a view, then you've got a great starting place for developing your XPages skills. So I often see people who are quite intimidated by XPages. You shouldn't be. If you have those skills in developing Notes applications and you also know Lotus script and you've developed Lotus script agents, then you're just learning a different interface and a different way to present that application. So you shouldn't be intimidated by XPages, and we can certainly help you in that area.
Oh, excellent. I guess I didn't realize that all those the domino classes, sessions, all that are available in XPages.
Yeah, they've, well, the back end classes, the front end classes,
Wait,
things
you're
like
showing me?
Oh, am I? Okay, let's do that one again.
That's all right.
Let me reset here. Okay.
Give our viewers a little laugh. They can see my ugly mug.
Are you seeing me again?
Absolutely.
Okay. Did you want to do that one again?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, have fun. That's well. All right. Then, let me go on. Then you mentioned it just a moment ago. I understand. Not I understand. I've actually looked at it. You have your blog, which is PaulDN. That's PAULDN.com. And I believe it's called Teaching and Learning XPages. Can you tell me a little bit about that blog? I mean, obviously I see your focus, but just expand on it a bit.
Well, the teaching part is kind of obvious. I mean, the purpose of the blog is to show people who are new to XPages, how to, right from the beginning, right from the start to develop those XPages skills. The learning part is, it's just like almost anything that I do. I find that I'm learning as I go along, particularly when you go into that level of detail. The level of detail where you're trying to teach someone, you uncover little gems yourself. So that's the learning part of it. It was inspired by a number of blogs that are out there, but probably most inspired by Notes in 9, David Leedy, who is the king of videos and learning videos out there. And also the Accelerant blog by Brad Balasadis. And
yes.
What I really love about Brad's blog and his approach is, the way he will take a topic like the data grid control and, deliver 36 or 37 entries in a series, all devoted to the data grid. So I was inspired most by those two blogs, and that's what I'm trying to do at PaulDN.com. So they are video blogs, and they are delivered in a series format. So I've got 2 series in there right now. I've got a 7-part Introduction to XPages Development series, which goes along with that free course that I mentioned. So that's right from the beginner topics, and that'll take you through to, developing your first XPage application, which you can follow along in Designer as you go through that. I also have a Introduction to Mobile XPages Development, and that's a 4-part series, so you can check that one out as well. And the next series that I'm planning is going to be about some advanced UI interface techniques, like using the application layout control, data view control, data grid control, things like that.
Wow, that all sounds really good, Paul, and ambitious. I just want, so everyone got that very clearly. The blog is PaulDN. That's Paul David Nancy, PaulDN.com. So if you haven't, you should definitely check that blog out. All right. So my next question then, which is a little off this subject, but what do you consider to be the most gratifying part of your day? What gives you the most happiness?
There's a lot of things that I enjoy, including just working alone on an application development project. But hands down, the most gratifying part of the day is when you get to that aha moment working with a customer. So if it's a teaching engagement or if it's a consulting engagement where I'm showing them how to deliver a particular technique or debug a particular problem that they're having, and when they hit that aha moment, that is clearly the most gratifying part of the day. And it takes different forms as well. So that could be a customer that's coming back and buying a second TLCC course. I mean, that's that reinforcement that we are adding value, and I certainly find that the most gratifying.
Excellent. All right, our interview is drawing to a close, and this brings us to the most important question of the interview. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. What is your favorite movie and why?
I thought about this because I've seen it asked in some of your other series. And wow, I love so many movies, but I'm gonna have to give you three. I can't give you just one.
That's
So
just fine.
a couple of titles are 12 Monkeys, love that movie. Fight Club, love that movie. But my favorite all-time movie must be Pulp Fiction. I love all the Tarantino movies, but Pulp Fiction, you've got such a gritty characters and gritty scenes and a lot of characters. The bit by Christopher Walken, only there for 2-3 minutes in that movie, is so memorable. But that movie is great, and a great soundtrack as well. Love that movie.
Chris, like you said, he's only in like one scene, but Christopher Walken almost steals the thing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
He is a brilliant actor. I saw him recently. I don't remember the name now. It's a fairly recent movie, but one thing that I liked about it is he played his age. I mean, he's getting old now.
Right.
And he played his age and played it so well. He's just brilliant.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for taking the time. It has been a pleasure talking to you.
Stephen, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate this.
Oh, you are more than welcome. And I will see you on the site. And so for all of the rest of you out there, I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.